Welcome to the SmartKeys podcast, the show dedicated to helping you work smarter, not just harder.
Today, we're doing a crucial deep dive into what is really the engine room of modern business.
Right.
We're talking about how professionals and companies can really master these freelance talent platforms to tap into a global pool of specialists,
Yeah.
instantly.
And we're pulling apart the insights from the guide, Freelance Talent Platforms, Tapping Global Expertise on Demand. I mean, the core argument in this piece is that the old ways of staffing projects,
The long internal recruiting cycle.
exactly, the ones that take months, it's arguing that for many tasks, they're now just strategically obsolete.
That is the core insight, yeah. We're moving way beyond just finding cheap labor. This is about pure, ruthless business efficiency.
It's about speed.
It's about the ability to scale specialized work incredibly quickly without adding full-time headcount, which brings immense overhead and long-term commitment.
Right, so if a big project lands on your desk today,
You need the expertise tomorrow, not in 3 months. And this guide really shows you how to source it globally right now.
So our mission for this deep dive is to give you a pragmatic framework. By the end of this, you'll know how to sort these platforms, how to radically shorten your hiring time, and, maybe most importantly,
How to match the project to the right platform.
yes, based on things like quality, speed, flexibility, and of course, total cost.
And the examples in the guide really show the power of this. I mean, we're not just talking about small gigs.
Yeah.
We see everything from a contest that generates hundreds of naming ideas from professionals in over 20 countries in a week, all the way to really long-running strategic hires
Like retaining an IP attorney for a decade.
for a decade, or finding a specialized podcast producer who's handled 60-plus episodes. This is scalable, sustained support. It's not just a one-off task.
Okay, so let's start by breaking down the landscape. The guide lays out three primary strategic service models. We need to get into the differentiators, the fees, the verification steps, the messaging rules.
All the little things that ultimately dictate how fast you can move and what you end up paying.
Right.
You need that framework because, trying to hire a full-stack developer on a platform that's built for logo contests is it's a guaranteed way to waste time.
No, so the strategic decision starts right there. Match the channel to the scope.
It has to.
So what's the biggest distinction in the field? Is it just about the cost?
It's really the tension between volume and curation. That's the strategic fork in the road.
Okay, explain that.
Some platforms, the open marketplaces, they're designed to give you maximum volume. You post a job, and you just get flooded with bids.
And the others.
The others, the curated networks, they do the opposite. They prioritize quality assurance and send you a much smaller number of highly vetted matches.
Let's start with Model 1 then. The open marketplaces. These are the giants, right? Like Upwork and Fiverr.
Precisely. You post a job, you get bids fast, and you can hire an individual or even assemble a whole team.
Mm-hmm.
But the crucial takeaway here is that you...
An internal team.
Yes. Your team maintains full control and also full responsibility for all the screening, interviewing, and reviewing.
So it's the ultimate DIY hiring channel. It's super efficient and cost-effective if you have the internal HR or, the technical expertise to actually manage that vetting.
Exactly. But if you don't have that expertise or you just don't have the time, you need Model 2, the curated networks.
And this list includes some big names. BearsDev, Arc, Cloud Devs, X-Team.
Aloha, index.dev. Yeah, it's a growing space.
This sounds a lot more like a concierge service. So if I'm using a network like this, I'm definitely paying a premium. What exactly is that premium buying me?
That's the critical question. The premium buys you two things: risk reduction and time compression.
Okay.
These networks usually focus on high-end senior talent, often in very specialized fields like software development. They handle the technical screening, background checks, even the culture fit, all before a candidate ever reaches your desk.
So they're basically outsourcing the most painful part of the HR process.
The deep technical vetting, yes.
Right.
It reduces your hiring lift significantly. Because they're pre-vetted, these networks are best for longer, strategic projects that need reliability, guaranteed quality, and continuity.
So you're often getting whole teams, not just one person.
Exactly. Staff pods or dedicated teams. It's a different model.
That makes the cost-benefit analysis pretty clear. DIY for quick or simple tasks. Curated for the mission-critical, high-risk stuff.
And then there's Model 3, the specialist channel. Contest sites, like 99 Designs or CrowdSpring.
These are all about creative brainstorming, aren't they?
They are. You crowdsource ideas for things like a company name, a logo, a web design. The goal is high volume and variety right up front.
You use this when you don't really know what you want yet.
Exactly. You want to explore a ton of creative directions before you pick a single winner who gets the payment and, importantly, transfers the rights.
And that CrowdSpring example from the source is just fantastic. The idea of spending a few $100s to get hundreds of naming ideas from professionals in 20 countries in a single week.
That kind of creative burst is fundamentally impossible through traditional hiring.
No way. It's efficiency mapped directly onto creative discovery.
That is.
Okay, so now we know which type of platform to use. Let's talk about execution speed, the practical shortlist. When the work is complex, multidisciplinary, say, it spans research, design, and development. The guide points straight to Upwork.
Yeah, Upwork excels there because of its sheer robustness. It's got deep search filters, customized screening questions, and open communication channels.
Which you need for iterative projects.
You absolutely do. And that's why you see those decade-long engagements in the source, like the IP attorney. The platform supports long-term partnerships.
And the flexible contracts are key. It has hourly with time tracking, which is great for evolving work, but also fixed price milestones. For the client, that fixed price structure comes with escrow protection. Why is that escrow feature so vital?
Escrow is the ultimate shield for you as the buyer. It means the money is held by the platform, by a neutral third party, and it isn't released to the freelancer until you say the deliverable is approved.
So if the work is wrong or the person just disappears?
You still have control of the funds. It protects your budget from getting burned on half-finished projects.
That's a huge deal. Okay, now let's pivot to Fiverr. If Upwork is for complexity, Fiverr is all about sheer speed.
Absolutely. Fiverr is designed to deliver outcomes in hours, not weeks. It's perfect for really clear, narrowly scoped deliverables. Think voiceovers, logo tweaks, a quick video edit.
Things you can basically order like a product from a catalog.
That's a perfect analogy. But the guide warns about the communication style.
Right, it's messaging only, mostly.
Yes, and that works perfectly if the job is defined perfectly. If your requirements are fuzzy at all, you're going to end up in endless revision loops.
So what's the best practice?
The guide is clear on this. Always order a small, paid test project first. Just confirm the style, confirm the turnaround, and make sure the freelancer gets what you need before you commit to the main task.
Simple, smart. Now, moving to alternatives, I was surprised the guide called out Golance specifically for their zero client fees. Why is that model such a game changer?
Well, the zero-fee model is a big strategic financial advantage when you're managing a large, long-term remote team.
Because those platform fees add up.
They really do. You combine that with their built-in tools, time tracking, reporting, multi-currency payouts. It just makes a Golance ideal for ongoing operational oversight, where you really have to control those recurring costs.
And what about Contra? The guide mentions it surfaces polished matches.
Yeah, Contra speeds up discovery because the profiles are just so clean and highly curated. But, it's still an emerging platform. The guide gives an important heads up that you might run into some early-stage UX quirks.
Like?
A confusing post field, maybe an occasional broken link, things that might slow down your initial onboarding. You just have to plan around those platform eccentricities.
Let's talk strategy now. Reducing friction, leveraging geography. The nearshore advantage is a key takeaway, especially for US-based teams. This is all about collaboration speed.
Exactly. Forget the old idea that global talent means working overnight. This is a tactical advantage. For projects that need real-time feedback.
Like a software sprint?
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Nearshore options, especially in Latin America, give you immediate time zone alignment with U.S. teams. And that shrinks your feedback cycles from 24 hours down to minutes.
And that drastically improves quality and speed.
Immensely.
Yeah.
And the guide gets specific, which is great. It mentions cloud devs can match you with pre-vetted LATAM developers in about 48 hours.
And it gives a rate, too, $45 to $70 an hour.
Right, a very competitive range. And they even include a 7-day trial period.
Which, again, is all about risk mitigation.
It's another example of baking it into the service model, yeah. It reduces the cost of a bad fit. And speaking of reducing risk, we have to talk about the layered vetting workflow that you should be using no matter what platform you're on.
I think this is where a lot of people just skip steps. They post a generic job description and just hope for the best.
And that is the ultimate time sinkhole. You need layers of protection. Step 1. Define everything tightly. Scope, timeline, budget. Write a concise brief with objective success criteria.
Then what?
Step 2. Review everything. Profiles, portfolios, client reviews, but look specifically for quantifiable achievements that relate to your role.
Okay, what's step 3?
Step 3 is using targeted screening prompts. These are questions you embed right in your job post that require a thoughtful customer response.
And if a proposal just ignores those,
It's a critical red flag
why is that such a huge deal?
because it signals one of two things, either laziness or the use of generic proposal automation tools. And if a candidate can't follow simple instructions in the pitch,
How will they handle complex feedback later?
exactly, how will they handle deadlines? It's a huge tell.
Okay, that's a powerful validation step. And then there's the final step, the ultimate validation.
Run a small, paid trial task. This confirms the quality of their work in real time, and it shows you exactly how they handle feedback, how they communicate when problems pop up. A small paid test is the single best predictor of future success.
It's also important to know where not to spend your time. The guide is cautious about a few platforms known for creating noise. Guru, for example.
Yeah, Guru can create some real onboarding friction. They have identity and payment verification delays that can be significant. If you're hiring on a tight deadline, a platform delay can sink your whole schedule.
And then there's freelancer.com.
Freelancer.com. The source material basically calls it the comments section of the internet.
That's harsh.
But it's kind of true. You post a careful brief, and instantly you get a dozen generic automated bids and recruiter upsells that completely ignore your screening questions.
So you spend hours just sifting through junk.
Right. It defeats the entire purpose of fast, targeted hiring.
Okay, so on the budgeting front, let's say we've picked the right person. How do we protect our schedule and our wallet?
You have to match your payment model to your project scope. For defined, finite work, use fixed price milestones with escrow.
Like Upwork offers.
Exactly. For evolving, iterative work where the scope might change, use hourly contracts with clear time tracking and activity logs. Glance and Upwork are great for that.
And the workflow tools are essential here.
Oh, absolutely. You have to prioritize systems with built-in time tracking, detailed activity logs, and transparent reporting. And internally, you need a QA checklist for every single handoff.
What's on that list?
Things like correct file formats, meeting performance benchmarks, brand compliance. That internal rigor is what keeps your schedule and your budget intact.
This all brings us to the final and maybe the most critical strategic takeaway. The right hiring route is just pragmatic. It matches your deadline, your budget, and the expertise you need.
And the really successful businesses, they standardize this process. They don't just hire, they systematize.
What does that look like?
They standardize candidate records, they track outcomes, they capture the lessons learned from every single engagement so they can sharpen their future estimates and improve their briefs.
So it's a cycle of continuous refinement.
That's where the long-term scalable value is created, yes.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, what is the single most critical step that ensures this scaling is sustainable? Once the work is delivered and the final payment is made.
The focus has to shift to legal and risk management. This is the step everyone overlooks, but it's what protects the business's assets. The critical element is ensuring all that effort you spend sourcing global talent actually compounds value for your business.
Instead of creating future legal problems.
Instead of creating future liabilities, exactly.
So how do you practically enforce that asset protection?
You must include strong intellectual property and confidentiality terms in every single contract, no exceptions. Use NDAs for sensitive projects. And most critically, you have to specify the ownership and the formal transfer of rights for all deliverables.
For the code, the logo, the report, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, it needs to be explicitly transferred to you upon final payment.
And if that IP transfer isn't explicitly defined, what's the real risk?
The risk is substantial. I mean, if you hire a global freelancer to create a key asset, a logo, a product name, and you don't secure the IP rights clearly, you may not legally own it.
Wow.
You risk losing trademark rights, facing future litigation, or even being forced to stop using the asset you paid for. If you don't legally control the IP your talent creates, that effort doesn't compound value. It introduces long-term latent risk.
That is the strategic difference between just getting a task done and actually building a sustainable business asset.
It's everything.
What a profound point to end on. It's not just about hiring for speed, it's about hiring for strategic asset protection. Thank you for tuning in to the SmartKeys podcast for this deep dive into harnessing the power of global freelance talent platforms.
We really hope these insights help you move from idea to hire faster and with far greater confidence.
If you found this discussion valuable, be sure to subscribe to the SmartKeys podcast for more actionable insights on the future of work and productivity. You can find the link to the full article, Freelance Talent Platforms, tapping global expertise on demand directly in the show notes below.
Work smarter, stay ahead.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.